Welcome to another episode, everyone. Mob James, he taps in, calls me Damion Porter, and he was not necessarily happy about some of the content that has been ran on his name as of late. Not necessarily my content, because the only thing I spoke on was what transpired there in the courtroom during the Tupac Shakur murder trial. Nevertheless, I told you all just a couple of days ago or so, that my OG homie, he knows Mob James. They grew up together or something like that. They're pretty close. And he asked me if I wanted to speak with him. I said, no, there's no reason for me to necessarily speak with him. I had not ran my videos on him yet about cover the trial. Just some other video I guess I had done. Nevertheless, he called me yesterday, the OG homie, and I missed the call. He called again a little while ago while I was doing my videos. Damn, man, I'm trying to do my work here. I answered the phone. He says, Mob James on the phone. He wants to talk to you. Mob James said, man, who's this Damion Porter guy, running this content, man? He had some things wrong. Okay. We connected. Mob James on the phone. And he says, Mob James wanted to clear up a couple things. First, he said that he had a lot to say about OG Baby Gangster from Santana Block, Compton Crib, whom I had done a video the other day, reacted to what Gangster had to say about Mob James and Mob James's testimony there at the Tupac murder trial. And so Mob James goes on to say that he had a whole lot to say about OG Baby Gangster. In fact, and none of the things that he had to say were favorable. Talked about some incidents that happened, or an incident that happened with Baby Gangster while Baby Gangster was there in prison, and a whole lot of other stuff that I'm not going to get into. Not sure if Mob James will necessarily like the fact that I'm not going to speak on what he said about Baby Gangster, because his take is, I believe that, I spoke on him. I reacted to a video that Baby Gangster did on him. But as I explained to Mob James, and as I explained to you all, my situation, the thing with my videos on Mob James is I kept it precisely on to what I can see with my own two eyes. I was just I'm covering the Tupac murder trial, and he happened to testify during the trial. So I covered that and gave my opinion about his testimony. And I witnessed his testimony. People were saying in the comments, or someone mentioned in the comments, that Mob James was supposed to have snitched back in 2006 or something on some dude named FC, I think it was. They told me to look into that. I never did look into that because it's none of my business. He's from Piru, and I'm not. And if there's no paperwork on it or whatever, I'm not going to get involved in all of that. I don't care about what happened in 2006. If his homies don't care, they haven't done anything about it. So whatever. So I don't even know who this dude is, FC or JC or whatever, who they said Mob James is supposed. I don't know if he's supposed to have wore a wire. I don't know. This dude's from Piru, Crip, Compton, New York. I don't know nothing about that situation. And I didn't go and do any research on it when they had mentioned it in the comments, because I'm not going to get into all of that. And so I spoke on Mob James, but only on what I could see for myself, which was a Tupac trial. What happened with that? I never mentioned anything or did a video about what happened in 2006. I don't know anything about this. I'm out of that. But I'm covering this trial, and what you testifying in that trial, I'm gonna speak on that because I'm witnessing this for myself. And Baby Gangster was speaking on a trial. And I was just getting his take on what he believed Mob James' situation was in the trial, speaking in the trial, whether he was right or wrong or had said too much. As I told Mob James, I also covered Bonnie Hunter BJ. He said he spoke with you on the phone. He played the recording on the internet. And he said that you said too much, that you should have just played the fifth, etc. I didn't just cover Baby Gangster, what he had to say. also covered what BJ had to say. So I'm not going to speak on these things that you're saying about Baby Gangster, because the same way I didn't speak on what they're saying about him in 2006. I don't care. It's none of my business. I don't know what happened with Baby Gangster back in 1979 in prison. I don't know. I don't. If there's any paperwork about these other allegations or whatever, that's one thing, But all the other stuff, I'm gonna have to stay out of. Now, Mob James did point out on the phone. He said something that I had not considered. If I'm being honest, he said, "Well, first of all, let's make it explicitly clear. He has denied being a snitch, ever being a snitch. He spoke a lot about a lot of things, about his brother Timmy Rue, about his brother Buntry, how Buntry ended up getting killed, exactly what happened with that situation, and why him and his brother Timmy Rue has fallen out, and why Timmy Rue is out here on the internet saying the things that he is saying about him. He spoke about his living situation now, where he moved to a long time ago, and why he left Death Row, exactly what was going on with that situation. A lot of different stuff that, again, beyond me to repeat here. I'm sure he didn't tell me all of this stuff to come make a video about it and repeat everything that he and I had discussed. And again, the OG homie was on the phone at the same time, speaking to some of the things that I will speak about concerning the conversation. He did say, regarding the trial and his testimony at the trial, that if I was a snitch, he said, and I had not considered this, but again, I didn't look back into his past. I'm not saying that he's a snitch from his past, from 2006, with this individual JC or FC, or whatever his name is. That's where people were putting out on the internet and what have you, apparently, that he snitched on someone back in the days. Again, who that was, I don't even know his name. Who it was, why he snitched, what happened, that I have no idea whatsoever. I'm not talking about that because I know nothing about that. I'm talking about getting on the stand, when you got on the stand and what was said on the stand. So he says that if I were a snitch, then why did it not come out in the trial? It came out that Keefe D is a snitch. The prosecutor brought that up, the defense attorney, whatever. They all brought that up. It came out that Devontae, Dirt Rock from Southside Compton Crip, is a snitch and had been snitching since 2006 at least, and receiving payments from the DEA. Keefe D had been snitching since at least 1998 with the FBI. So Mob James says if I was a snitch, and especially the way that I was going back and forth with the defense attorney, he was not necessarily happy with me, the defense attorney. So that would have been the perfect time to bring it up. They brought it out that the other dudes were snitching and had been snitches for a long time, working with the government, DEA, FBI, everything else. How come the prosecutor, the defense attorney, no one else brought up in court that I'm on paperwork that I've been snitching? That if I snitched on this dude back in the days, or I've been working with the feds, how come it did not come out? They had the perfect opportunity when it came out on everyone else in the courtroom. I said, well, you know what? That's true. I said, my fault. I should have brought that up myself when I was doing the videos. I did not consider that. I had not thought about that. But the reason I had not thought about that is because I'm not saying that he's a snitch from the past. I never did a video about that. As I said, I know nothing about that. I'm just talking about what happened right there in the trial with the testimony that I bore witness to myself, that I covered your testimony at the trial, and whether or not you should have said anything at the trial or what you should have said at the trial, if anything. That's what I talked about. Everything else I know nothing about. So that was essentially the conversation. We went on for a while, as I said, and again, just to make it explicitly clear, Mob James wanted to make it clear that he is not a snitch, has never been a snitch, that his brother is putting things on him, but his brother has an ulterior motive. He said to put these things on him. These individuals have animus toward one another. Him and his brother, Timmy Rue. And again, he went into detail about his sisters, his brother Buntry, and what happened with that situation, Suge Knight, so forth and so on. And again, he said that he knows Baby Gangster personally. He said, have him call me and tell me I'm lying about everything I'm telling you right now. And again, he had a lot to say. I said, I don't have Baby Gangster's number. I just cover some of his videos, man. I don't know any of these dudes. Talked to Hoover Gumby on the phone the other day. He said, this dude, you got this dude number, you talk to that dude. I don't know none of these people. I don't talk to none of these people. None of them. And don't want to talk to them. Most of these dudes fake and phony. I'm good. Like that old PC 50-50 biatch. See, I don't even talk about the facts. He went 50-50. That's a fact. I only talk about the facts. I don't talk about stuff I only talk about the trial. The 50-50 bitch, I'm not talking about stuff that I'm not sure about. I just talk about the facts. Ho, you went 50-50, ho. Your bitch ass didn't fight in prison. They were playing with your name in prison, ho. You ain't say nothing, ho. Anyway, I digress. I'm not responding to that bitch because it's just like, I'm not stooping to no PC level. I'm cool. I can't respond to no PCs, man. I'm good. But Mob James, as I said, I have to have some kind of respect for you to even respond to you. Mob James, so there you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Mob James, hit me up. Said that right there, amongst a lot of other things. Again, I don't know the situation. I've done no investigation whatsoever about what supposedly happened back in the days with him supposedly being a snitch. I'm just telling you exactly what he told me on the phone there a little while ago, that he is not a snitch, has never been a snitch, that he has not been to prison since 1988, he said. And I believe he said that on the stand as well, but he told me that he's just been out of the way, out of trouble, taking care of his kids, his grandkids, and that he's still about that life. He said, that as far as still being a real dude, a real street dude in his heart, like, he doesn't appreciate the narrative that's been going around on the internet, that he's a snitch or that he snitched back in the days and this and that. And he said people are taking this and running with it and don't really know what they're talking about, that he's never snitched, and that people essentially need to do their homework before they make that kind of content, putting the stint. He said, where am I at in any paperwork? And again, how come it didn't come out in the trial if I was a snitch? Like it came out that Keefy D is a snitch and has been a snitch. Like it came out that old Dirt Rock, old Devontae should have known. And these dudes, boy, look here. He didn't look like a Devontae. Most of them dudes with those type of names, though, Devontae, they suspect, bro. Don't unsubscribe if your name is Devontae. Nah, some of y'all all right. But most of them type of dudes, them Devontae type dudes, more light-skinned, curly-haired, you can't trust them. Devontae is up in there squealing. He up in there come to find out he didn't got paid from the DEA 5 times. He got 5 checks, totaling $5,300. This is how this man was paying his bills. This is how he was going half on a sack in the hood, working with the DEA. Devontae. No, man. You got to be careful. Get up out of the streets. They're no good. There you have it. Shout out to Mob James, bro. It's all good. Shout out to the OG homie as well. Yeah, I don't have any personal beef, which I don't know what happened back in the days. I never looked into it. I worry about, my crew and my group. And We have snitches and snitches everywhere, snitches in every hood. But I was thinking, actually, before I did this video, of a snitch in the Hoovers, or someone that's accused of snitching and that's still over there. I can't think of one. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, somebody might be able to correct me in the comments. I'm sure it's gonna be somebody it just can't come to my mind. But for the most part, I mean, everybody that I know of that I can think of that even had that jacket on them that they was a snitch, they got ran up out of there, man. They got ran up out of there in the worst way. That's it. Straight up. They ain't not running around acting like they OGs, talking about they OG still from the hood, calling shots or something. And these dudes been working with the DEA, the FBI, Mark Furman, since 1998, 2006, 2008, 2009, Keefy D was giving statements. Devontae, Dirt Rock, from Southside Compton Crip was giving many statements. These individuals can't be trusted. There you go. There you have it. That was Mob James. He tapped in. He had that to say again. So just wanted to clear that up. He said, man, again, hey, if I was snitching, it would have came out in trial like it came out on everyone else. What say you in the comments? I don't know. It's none of my business, really. I'm just running my content. Again, the only thing I'm speaking on is what I see myself. I don't know what happened in 2006 with JC or KC or whatever. I don't know anything about that. So I never spoke on that because I don't know anything about that. And I'll be out of line to speak on that. I don't know anything about that. So I didn't speak on that. I never have. I don't know about Baby Gangsta in the penitentiary. I wasn't there with him. I don't know what happened. If I speak on it, I'll be speaking on something I don't know anything about. So I've never spoke on that. What I did speak on is what I saw with my own two eyes. You understand, and I just covered, you understand, and what you had to say understand, like I've been covering the Tupac Shakur murder trial. That's it. And then I gave my opinion with what I was seeing right there on the stand in real time. That's it. The only thing I can speak on is what I know for a fact, what I can see with my own eyes, what I have seen myself, what I have been involved in myself, what I know of myself to be a fact. For however I know it to be a fact, I'll die on that hill enough to where I know it to be a fact, so I'll speak on it. Other than that, I'm not going to speak on. I don't know. I don't know what. I have no idea, so I can't. And that's all that was, man. So let me know what you think in the comments. Stay safe and stay free. And man, look here. Go check out my other channel, The Unwoke Culture. The link is in the description of this channel. I'm about to head back over there right now. The channel is going up. It is going up a little something. Y'all ain't messing with me like that over here. I'm about to get up out of here. I'm telling you. Heading back over there right now. That's where I'm at. So if you don't find me here, you're like, damn, why he ain't dropping all these videos over here no more? He didn't finally wore out. He didn't finally gassed out. Huh? He finally got exhausted, burnt out. Now he only dropping one video a day over here. As opposed to no, that's not it. Or 2 or 3. No, that's not it. I'm on another channel, The Unwoke Culture. But I'll never leave this channel. My people over here, man, for real, always. But go check out the other channel. Subscribe to the channel. If you so, please check it out and see if you like it. You know, maybe I could earn your subscription. I don't want it for free. Check out some of the videos and see if you like it. See if your speed and say, okay, I can get with this. Because you're going over there and subscribing and then not coming back to watch the videos is not going to help me anyway. If you subscribe but you're not actually going to support the channel, it doesn't do me any good. Just stay right here. Just keep staying right here. I appreciate the support right here. Appreciate you all. Subscribe right here, though, if you have not. Hell, subscribe to this channel. How about that? Stay safe and stay free, people.